Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Getting a break from the snow to start the weekend, but not so much to finish. We'll see accumulating snow again. Find out how much next.
With high demand and low supply, and now local counties are canceling appointments amid vaccine shortages here in Metro Detroit.
We begin, though, with the massive security presence in Lansing, with the state ready for any trouble that may erupt at the state capitol. Glad you're with us this Friday night at 11. Some right-wing groups are planning an armed protest Sunday, and some are calling for chaos.
It's led to the National Guard being called up, and as Jason Colthorpe reports, many other security measures are being taken in Lansing.
We're at the Romney building across from the Capitol where the governor's office is. Doors, windows, all boarded up. And just a few hundred yards from here at Lansing City Hall, surrounded by fencing. And that's not all.
There is an uneasy feeling as you drive around downtown Lansing. Government buildings protected. Businesses, including MLive's Lansing newsroom, boarded up, all in preparation for Sunday's armed protest at the Capitol.
First and foremost, I think we're all have to be saddened and even perhaps horrified that we got to this point.
Retired Brigadier General Mike McDaniel served as the Assistant Adjutant General for Homeland Security, Michigan National Guard.
Well, I think that we're starting to see a little bit of stratification among these different groups.
Groups like the Proud Boys and Boogaloo Boys, who have ramped up their rhetoric so much in recent days. Other militia groups are staying away from Sunday's protest. And while the Capitol might be adequately protected by soldiers and state police, McDaniel says there's more to worry about.
That doesn't mean that we shouldn't be on guard. When you harden one target, and we're dealing with sort of an insurgency or an insurrection, what happens is other softer targets are sought by those same groups.
There have been literally thousands and thousands of threats to elected leaders in the state of Michigan.
And those threats, says AG Dana Nessel, must not go unanswered.
I really believe that we have to start cracking down as hard as possible on the people who are making these threats.
McDaniel thinks there's a good chance things remain peaceful here Sunday, mainly because the communication and coordination between all of the law enforcement here in Lansing has been much better than what we saw January 6th in Washington, D.C. And he says it's going to have to stay that way for a few weeks until we see how this movement plays out. We're in Lansing tonight. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Okay, Jason, and from Lansing to our nation's capital, where 21,000 National Guard troops will be on hand for the inauguration of President-elect Joe Biden.
The National Mall, where Americans have traditionally gathered to watch a new president being sworn in, has also been closed to the public through at least Thursday as part of the new security measures. There's miles of security fencing, streets barricaded, several bridges between Washington, D.C. and Virginia are closed. The Washington mayor says the protection measures will be in place for as long as necessary after Wednesday's inauguration.
A manhunt tonight on Detroit's east side for the driver who hit a Detroit police cruiser and then later abandoned his Jeep with two young children inside. Police say they were called to the area of 7 Mile and Hayes for an assault. When officers got there, they say a man hit a patrol car and then fled the scene. They later found the Jeep down the road with a 4- and 5-year-old inside. The children were not hurt. They're still looking for that driver.
Well, some snow showers this afternoon, but mostly dry this evening.
Yeah, but Ben is tracking more rain and snow moving in for the weekend. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Kim. Devin, yeah, we got more snow coming, but it's going to be backloaded. So at least we're going to start the weekend dry, and we may, don't tell anybody I told you this, we may even see some sunshine to go along with it on Saturday. Let's pick up Storm Tracker 4 because we don't have anything out there right now except maybe a flurry at best, and that's pretty much going to be the story of tomorrow as well. The one thing that is showing up is some fog. Visibilities have been reduced, especially north of 8 Mile, and you can see it in the forecast map as we go forward through tonight. Watch the low gray areas sort of move like an amoeba there in the north zone. They'll start spreading over the area, so do expect visibilities to be more reduced as we start out tomorrow morning if you're going to be out early. And then snow showers start to come back as we get into the evening hours on Saturday, but that's not the real culprit. Sunday's when we're expecting the accumulating snow, and that's also when we've got temperatures that are going to start making it back to the mid-30s. So we'll talk amounts and more active pattern next week, all in a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben. Tonight, some county health departments are rescheduling COVID vaccine appointments. Supply shortages have Governor Whitmer and 2 other Midwest governors calling on the feds to either buy more or allow states to directly purchase it. Let's get to Larry Spruill tonight. Larry, people had trouble just scheduling the appointments, and now I guess they're worried they're going to have to wait even longer.
Yeah, Devin, and that's because a lot of places are waiting for more vaccines to come in, like Henry Ford Hospital here in Detroit. Other places are canceling upcoming appointments. So really the bottom line is tonight there aren't enough vaccines to go around. Friday, Henry Ford Hospital leaders addressed the vaccines and the magnitude of this project.
Henry Ford alone will deliver more than 1 million individual doses of this 2-dose vaccine, which means making several million vaccination appointments over the next several months.
But Henry Ford leaders say their upcoming Pfizer vaccine shipment next week only represents about 37% of what they expected to receive, forcing them now to take necessary precautions.
We have more than 800 appointments scheduled through Saturday and into the next week for our workforce, and we currently have enough vaccine on hand to last through next Wednesday. With a limited vaccine supply at this time, we're prioritizing vaccinations for existing Henry Ford patients who are ages 65 and older or meet the broader eligibility requirements announced last week by the state of Michigan.
And they're not alone. There's a shortage in St. Clair County and Washtenaw County as well.
We were planning for a larger number of doses this coming week. We had over 3,000 scheduled. And we found out this afternoon that we weren't getting all of the doses that we were planning for.
Susan Ringler-Cerniglia with the Washtenaw County Health Department says they also have to pull back.
Unfortunately, that means we're having to cancel at least one of our clinics. We are canceling the one coming up on Tuesday, the 19th.
And Susan, who you just heard from, say those appointments who they had to cancel, they will reschedule those for February the 9th. As for Henry Ford Hospital, they have enough vaccines to last until next Wednesday. We're live at Henry Ford tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
And Larry, specifically, what are you hearing tonight about the situation in Wayne County?
Yeah, Devin, so we spoke with health officials here in Wayne County. They tell us they don't have enough Pfizer vaccines either, and more than likely they will have to cancel some upcoming appointments as well, Devin.
Yeah. All right, Larry. Well, as we head into the weekend, the state is reporting nearly 2,600 new cases of the virus, along with 29 more deaths. Worldwide, COVID-19 death toll has now surpassed 2 million people, according to those keeping records at Johns Hopkins University.
Wayne County has named its new sheriff. A 3-person panel of county officials has appointed Deputy Chief Raphael Washington to replace the late Benny Napoleon. Washington has 37 years experience in law enforcement and has also worked for the Detroit Police Department. He takes over the position immediately and also has to run for election in 2022. The Mega Millions is living up to its name tonight, and if you bought a ticket, get it out because we have the winning numbers here.
Tonight's winning Mega Millions numbers are 3, 11, 12, 38, 43, and 15 with a megaplier of 4. There are the numbers. The jackpot, an estimated $750 million. Don't spend all of that in your head because it's just under $551 million if you were going to take the cash option, which we would still, I think, recommend.
Happily. Well, the fallout continues for one of Rick Snyder's closest advisors, now charged in the Flint water crisis.
The announcement he just made about his future at one of the state's biggest universities coming up.
And more than a dozen officers suspended. The video showing them relaxing and even sleeping while looting was happening just outside the building.
But first, a woman rushing for cover as shots are fired near her Metro Detroit home. Next.